Hi, I'm Alan Hawkins from Brigham Young University. My task is to talk to you about the federal and state healthy marriage initiatives that are going on in the United States these days. I've been watching this progress for about 10 years. Many people aren't really quite aware. Of course, there's a lot of that you hear in the media about very serious, important discussions going on with regards to same-sex marriage. But federal and state governments are also quite interested in strengthening the institution of marriage and have initiated a number of programs over the last 10 years. And a lot of people really aren't aware of what's going on, but we've documented more than $600 million that have been spent, most in the last 5 or 6 years, to, in particular, to money that have been given out in grants to community organizations and other kinds of organizations that are focused on providing some very valuable relationship and couple education to individuals and couples in lots of different circumstances to help them learn the skills needed to form and sustain healthy relationships and healthy marriages. And some evaluation work that is going on also with these initiatives to see what kinds of efforts might be proving to be most successful, and also some very rigorous studies that the federal government is paying for to see if these kinds of efforts can be successful in helping couples form and sustain healthy relationships, form healthy marriages, and even if we see those results then get down to the outcomes that we value for children in these healthy relationships. There's work going on in virtually all 50 states that's being funded. There are a handful of states as well that are trying to coordinate efforts to provide these kinds of services to couples and to individuals. When I say a handful, probably 3 or 4 or 5 states that have very substantial kinds of initiatives going on. Those are actually very interesting as well. Most of these initiatives are targeting more disadvantaged couples, couples that probably would not have a lot of access to these kinds of services otherwise. And so in that sense, then they're reaching out to a much more needy population, and in finding that these programs are very well received and valued in those populations. But they're reaching out to lower income unmarried parents who've had children together, providing them with some educational services that they might not otherwise get, reaching out to youth in more disadvantaged populations and trying to get them earlier in the process as they think about healthy relationship formation. Step families are a real need there, and remarriages, which now are about half of all marriages in the United States, involve one or both individuals, partners who've been in a marriage before. And so there are a lot of diverse needs out there, and a lot of curricula that's been developed and is now being tested for those needs, and meeting, I think, a real need within the field to push this kind of service out to populations who have not had as much access to it. I've been very interested in evaluating this work, and that work is coming along. The evaluation work seems to always be slower, but it's coming, it's there, and some early work that has since, I think, that is beginning to show a possibility and a potential for this kind of work and meeting a very needy population. So it's a fascinating work. I think sometimes we see work, particularly family life educators, see their work as just a program. But what we're beginning to see now is that family life education is a policy tool that is being used by policymakers, by legislators, to provide a service that can help couples achieve a very important public policy purpose, which is to help strengthen these relationships for the benefit of the children that are involved and for the well-being of the adults that are involved as well.